a growth mindset is very easily going to be inspired to discover and practice other different types of meditation to find what works for them, because they might find something in that growth that may have a better impact or that fits better with them. And I believe there's nothing wrong with that. I actually quite encourage people to go out and test different things. Never believe what I have to say. I come from a wide range of reading and schools of thought that sometimes I don't even know. But what I like to do is I like to experiment. I like to have the experience so that I can make my own decision, and I encourage you out there really to do the same. I think that the Buddha said it, that don't believe what I say, test it out, see if it's true for you. And that's what I think is really important, because we all have different experiences. We all come from a different place in the world, and find what and if a fixed meditation works for you, awesome, fantastic. I always encourage people to do something different and see what the results are. Now, a benefit mindset as well, coming down to your meditation, is who are we benefiting? Are you actually, might you be sharing a meditation with someone? Is there someone who you can make a difference as an individual or in a group? You might bring someone in to lead a meditation for you, right? You might do a meditation for the benefit of the planet, for the benefit of a group of people. Because remember, wherever our focus goes, our energy flows. And when we put an intention out in our meditation, that's where our energy will go. If we're going to meditate for global healing, our energy and our combined energy, especially as a group, will go towards global healing. If we're sending it to individuals, we can send it to individuals. But it's so important to be aware that wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. And what you focus on expands. So it's about, now, back to consciousness, it's about choosing what you're focusing on consciously. Do we have some people just have a habit of focusing on everything that's bad in a situation, and they'll complain about it, and they're negative, and that becomes a habit. It's that pattern again, that I speak about often. Same as if you look at the positive side of things, right? If everybody's looking for the good in a situation, or that person, that's their habit, that's their pattern, where that focus goes, the energy flows, and we expand the possibility for creation and whatever it is that we're looking for. So I really find it a very interesting construct, because when you talk about meditation, I'm always recommending meditation to my friends, my family, clients, and people I meet out there, because I do meet a lot of people. And again, different meditations. And it's funny, because one of the most common things I hear about meditation is, oh, I can't meditate. I can't silence my mind. My mind's too busy. And it's like, then you got to meditate even more, because it becomes a practice. Like anything, it's a practice. And the most important thing is to start your practice. Start meditating. And if you're doing a silent meditation, great. And then there's tools that we can talk about, and I'll leave that to the meditation experts, such as Patrici and things. But ideally, you got thoughts floating around, identify and let them go. They keep coming back. It happens. But the practice is to get to the point that they just flow. You don't have to look at it, and then you can be in silence and an emptiness of beingness. So to me, that's a really powerful part of meditation. We also, in the work that we do here, we'll do sound meditations or sound healings, because sound is very powerful in terms of creating a vibrational shift and state in our body, and it can open up different parts of our brain and brain waves so that we can disengage from parts of our body and brain systems and things of that nature, that we can actually go on a journey. And it helps us focus on something versus then the thoughts in our head. And I have seen some amazing, amazing results and had some fantastic experiences with some beautiful sound healing journeys and meditations that way. And then again, you get into different guided meditations with different practices. Again, I was sharing some of the stuff I'd done in some Buddhist studies I was doing, and again, they were more complicated, but they were guided. We were being walked through what to focus on. And again, you could do a walking meditation and just paying attention to each and every step. Meditation, for me, really comes down to being present in each and every moment, being aware of what's around us, being peaceful in our heart, and breathing. Breath is the most important part of life, because it's the one thing we can't live with for the shortest amount of time. So I think it's really important that we really focus on our breath, which is a big part of meditation. And meditation is something to be consistent. Have some intention and purpose in it as well. You might be looking for an answer for something complicated in life, and then what we have to do is, if we have that intention, we're looking for answers, we have to be able to clear the clutter. We have to have a clear mind, a clear mindset, so that we can actually get the message in the sense that when it comes, because sometimes people get the message, and I know I've done this more than I can count on, yet we don't recognize it right away. And we kind of get hit with it a few times until it hurts, and then we recognize it, and it's like, oh, I should have listened to this a little while ago. But, our minds are too cluttered, or we think we know better. So, that's part of the way that I see meditation and mindset. And as simple as another yogi friend of mine who I interviewed, I loved it. He just said, sit, breathe, and be. It's that simple. And again, what's our mindset in that? If we have a mindset where we want to do everything perfect, and we want to sit properly, we want to breathe properly, I think that's not necessarily a bad thing, because this again comes down to the growth mindset. How do we make it better? How do we do it better? I'd like to suggest that in these processes, it's important not to beat ourselves up or think we're not doing it right. And that becomes that disease of perfectionism. We want to be able to, enjoy the process. And that, to me, becomes the most important thing in all life, is to enjoy life. Even when things aren't going well, enjoy life. Because it's a process, right? It's how do we take a look at what's going on around us and enjoy what is, even if it's not what we like. I great quote that I like to use a lot is in life is, if you get frustrated or, in that place, turn frustration into appreciation. How do we make the best of what we've got? Which gets me into, the mindset, because your mindset is so important, because it shows up and reflects your world wherever you are. And that's the exciting thing. So let's take a look at what's going on in the world, right? Happy people are happy. Mad people get mad. Angry people get angry. People who want to help, help. And this is what happens, because who you are and your identity is how you show up. So what I like to think about is, in how we show up, are we being congruent to our identity? And in the world today, we are living in one of the most interesting, transformational times in all of humanity, at the very least in my lifetime anyways. And I believe this is unique to the globe and everybody here, with the COVID-19 thing, the riots, everything that's happening in the United States and around the world. And, it's how do we show up? Are we living in fear? Are we seeking to understand? It gets into those mindsets again, right? Fixed mindset will believe everything you see and hear. A growth mindset will look to understand and find answers and make sense of what's going on. And then the third mindset actually brings us to the point where it's like, what good can we do? What can we make best for not just ourselves, but for all of humanity and the impact that has? And as crazy as these times are right now for all of humanity, all over the globe, all over the world, again, it comes down to how we show up. And what are you doing during these times to make the best of them? And I'm not saying they're easy by any stretch. People are losing their loved ones, they're losing their jobs, their income, economic strife, which is, again, really an important time to meditate, because it'll help you ground, it'll keep you focused, and it'll get you to a point of what really, really matters. And that's in your presence and just being. Because here around me in my home and my life, I'm not overly affected directly because I'm not seeing COVID or anything, but in my presence and my beingness, I'm aware of what's happening. But what I wanted to get to was, the point is, as we show up and in what we do, what are you doing with this time? Are you taking this time? Now, you might not be working as much. You might have more time with family. Are you using this time to meditate and deepen your practice? I know I could do some more work on that too, because I get so busy being busy, because I see opportunity, because I go, wow, what can I do? And one of the most exciting things for me is how I see what we've all been doing, is getting online, just being able to have this conversation here, speak to the whole world, and change the way that we do things. As an events organization that we do, we've started doing everything online. So there's been a lot of great learning and opportunity as the world change. How willing are you to be flexible and adaptable and change the way that we do things in the past? But if you have a fixed mindset, right, you're going to be stuck in that fixed place. You're going to want everything to be the same. People talk about, oh, I can't wait till we get back to normal. Well, gang, of all you fixed mindset folks, people out there is no normal, and there certainly won't be a normal after this, because the world is changing. And depending on what you believe out there, what's happening in the world, I personally believe during this Great Awakening, we're going to see a lot of really interesting, positive changes. However, we have to go through the birth canal. We have to go through this pain that's happening, this unknown that's happening, so that we can get onto the other side as a global community with more bliss, more joy, more connection, and respecting humanity. So it's like, what are you doing with this time? Are you growing? So that's a growth mindset again. Are you reading books? Are you picking up an instrument and learning to play? Are you, doing something for the community? Are you growing and giving back beyond yourself so that we can make a better difference in society and humanity, and specifically in our own lives? Because again, remember, if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you're in isolation, you're quarantined, and you're not doing anything to grow yourself. And I know I've seen this with our community in a lot of the online events that we do. And one thing I got to say, it's amazing to see how we can create a beautiful, safe, sacred container that connects community digitally. Super exciting for me to see that. And it does work. So anybody watching out there, if you have an opportunity because you're isolated and quarantined anywhere still today, take advantage of some of the great stuff online like we're doing here. We've got another one coming up July 13th, I believe, July 12th and 13th, with the PSSM Global. But get involved and do something to grow and continue to expand your mind, your body, and your spirit. Because again, in that, you could be exercising, reading a book, writing a book. You can be creating a program. You can be helping people. Keep growing, right? And then we go into the third mindset. Excuse me. The third mindset being of a benefit mindset. And we can take a look at our time as, what can we do to benefit our community, our society, others? One of the things I do is just being here and sharing, where I'm at in my life and the things I'm passionate about. So this is part of my, having a benefit mindset. I'm so grateful to be here and share what I think is important in life and in the world right now. And, it's how do we benefit those we touch? And we can do it one-on-one. We've got to keep our physical distancing, of course, right? Or we can do it with the many, with the people watching here. Are we doing things to help impact humanity in the globe and create lasting and important change? These are the things for me that when it comes into, mindset is really important. I believe in growth and contribution from, a six human needs psychology point of view is about growing and always giving back beyond ourselves. And for those of you watching, if you find yourself struggling at times and not knowing what to do, of course, meditation is key. Being mindful of where you're at, what you're doing, how you're feeling, because it's important to feel what you're feeling, where you're feeling it in your body too. But go out and contribute. Help some neighbors, help your friends. If there's something you can do to give back and help those, and as simple, quite frankly, as smiling somebody on the street, right? Or if you're standing in line when you're shopping, open up a conversation, a heartfelt conversation that would be inspiring. Because, you know, the word social distancing, again, is a mindset. Since when is social measured by distance, like 6 feet? Right? Social distancing is a mindset that I personally happen to believe was specifically chosen because these guys who do all this, they know what they're doing. Social distancing is so that we don't talk to each other. They don't want us to talk about what's going on because we might kind of expose the truth or what might actually really be happening in the world that we don't see in the mainstream news, right? 6 feet is a physical thing. It's physical distancing. So keep your 6 feet, be mindful, respect others because some people want it and need it more than others. And say hi, smile. Smiles are contagious and so important. That, smile. It's easy, it's free, you'll feel better, it helps happiness, and people need it. I had a situation where I was waiting to pay for some gasoline at the local gas station one day, and we were outside in a line. And I said to a gentleman, or there's a couple of guys came, and one guy was a construction worker, and another one was an older gentleman. And there we were, and I always bring up because I like to interrupt patterns, right? We talked about patterns. Pattern interrupts are a way of creating change. So no, we're standing there, nobody's talking to each other. So I bring up hey guys, just because we're, distant doesn't mean we can't talk. Hey, how's everybody doing? And, construction guy was kind of like, yeah, all right. And the elderly gentleman says, he looks at the construction guy and he says, well, you're lucky. You get to go to work every day and talk to people and have some social, interaction. He says, I live by myself in an apartment and I'm isolated and by myself. And he was just so grateful to have a conversation with people, right? And there's a lot of people out there right now having challenges with that. And if you're watching and you're one of those people, pick up some meditation. Follow Patriji. He'll take you on some beautiful meditations, and his flute is transcendental, kind of like Krishna, right? And, do something different, right? Let's get into a growth mindset. Find a way to expand yourself, help expand others so that we can all live a life, of purpose, passion, playfulness, presence. These are four of the things I'm always wanting to share with people when I do. It's like we have to be, really have a life of purpose, because a life of purpose, why are you getting out of bed every day, right? Purpose of my life is to be an inspiration to others while living a life of growth and contribution, and most importantly, enjoying the process. I want to have fun doing it, right? So that's what drives basically everything I do, is that one little statement. That's my purpose. And I like to be playful. For those who know me, I have a hard time being serious, because whoever said life's serious anyways? So be playful. Be like a kid again, right? Laugh. When was the last time you had a good belly busting laugh, right? There's I can't remember his name, but I saw the laughing yoga guy. If you ever have a chance to see him, he's hilarious, and you'll start laughing. And it's really great because we all need to laugh. It does a lot of great stuff for our body and our biochemistry, right? And it's about being present, being aware of what's going on around you. It's just really key, right? Presence means when somebody's talking, listen to them versus listening to the story you're already telling yourself in your head, because you're already thinking about your response while they're talking, which means you're not fully listening. So really take that time and slow down with your breath and listen. Repeat back what people are saying to you so that you can fully understand and have a better way to communicate, right? So those are, that's purpose, playfulness, presence, super important, and passion. And to me, passion is really about being excited about your life. You ever come up with a person and they're just like, they're just not passionate, man. And then you meet someone that's like, oh my God, their life's on fire, right? They just can't take it. It's like, because they got so much great stuff going on that you can't even, they don't have time for being depressed or being frustrated because they're on a growth and benefit mindset. They're excited about life, what they're doing, who they're interacting with, and it changes everything, right? Passion is so exciting, and passion, again, is a misconstrued word if you look at the back end of it and the history of it. I like to just think about passion of being excited because that's how we use it today. And, these are some of the ways that I work to keep myself positive, engaged, having fun, and be curious, people. Be curious. Go out and have some fun. I don't know where you are in the world today. Don't get yourself in trouble by any stretch. Connect with nature. Do whatever you got to do. And in nature is meditation. You can meditate anywhere, anytime. You don't have to be sitting in lotus with your mudras in place, and you don't have to be. You can be sitting in meditation in your backyard, just watching the birds. You
Thank
can
you.
be. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I heard someone there.
Um, So that is really wonderful, Mark. I mean, you've actually opened a thought process in everyone as to what is their mindset. Like, are they in the fixed mindset or growth mindset or benefit mindset? And I love the example that you gave, the beautiful example of the shopping, something very simple that everyone can relate to. And
Hmm.
it's so important. And I also, some of the takeaways for me is, you basically your energy flows where your focus goes, and based on where your focus goes you create your experiences.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
so everything, like if the same on the same day in a same situation, somebody might feel that it's a great day and somebody might feel it's okay. So it's all about how you think, and you beautifully summarize those points. And there are more than 100 people, over 100 people watching this.
Wow,
And yeah,
awesome.
it's amazing, it's amazing. And we have many curious viewers, and some of them are asking me, what is the picture behind you?
The picture behind me, this is, I'm told, a image of Kuan Yin. Our last speaker, Ananda, had mentioned him when as I got on earlier. I heard him speaking of Kuan Yin, and she is just one of the goddesses I admire and look to. She hangs out in between the realms so that we can transition and be there. So yeah, that's who she is for me.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
Patriji, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, as you yourself said, I got wonderful three new phrases: the fixed mindset, the growth mindset, and the benefit mindset. So, when you make the benefit mindset as your fixed mindset, you are in the best possible growth mindset.
Ah, very good. I like that, Patrici. See, he's of a growth mindset for benefit, so he's there. You demand.
I will describe the whole of PSSM as basically a benefit mindset, and that is the fixed mindset for the whole lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
That will not change. We are fixed on that, and that is our greatest growth mindset. We have been growing wonderfully because of that.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's
gave
a
me three
that.
beautiful phrases, Swamiji.
Thank you,
I
Patrici.
am, and you reminded me that I have named you as Madhya.
That's right.
I you are a great example of middle path,
Thank you.
outside and inside,
Thank you.
50-50.
Yeah.
You are 50-50.
Thank you. It was just a pleasure to be here and knowing you guys and being part of the community. And I really like the distinction that you made, Patrici. Is make the benefit mindset your fixed mindset, right? And even that, the paradox of life, growth in there, it's never really truly fixed, even though it is fixed, right? Because you're always growing, it's always changing. But it's beautiful. It's such a great description and distinction, and that's really where I live my life. So, um, excuse me, it's just a pleasure to be able to share, and I'm glad that you got some benefit from what I had to share this morning or
Ab-
this evening, wherever you are in the world.
Absolutely,
Hu-
Mark. I mean, yeah, sorry, sir. Please.
Huge benefit we got from you, Mark.
Thank you.
Very huge benefit.
All right, and Vinay, you have another question?
So someone is asking, I know meditation is good, it's beneficial, but I'm not able to get myself commit to it to do regularly. What can I do?
Well, I think the most important thing is just the awareness that you have right now that you're not able to do it regularly. Because in order to change anything, we need to acknowledge something has to change. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So just the fact that you're in that place right now, I think is a very powerful and beautiful place to be because that's exactly where you're meant to be. That's the learning. And now the key is to do something and find what works for you, most importantly. I know Patricia will we meditate in the morning. To me, it's a great way to start your day. But find a way that you can do it. If you have a dog that you walk, find a way to be, in a focused or empty place while you're doing that, just taking in what's out there. If you have a yard, if you have a patio, grab a flower, meditate on the flower. Take a look at all the different parts of the flower, smell the flower, feel the flower. Find ways to make it that it works for you. And I'd encourage, going to different events, going to group meditations, going to guided meditations, even if it's online right now. But find different ways that work for you. And then when you find what works for you, do more of it. And I think it's okay to be in that place because it's the beginning stages for people. And you have to find that practice that works for you. I always recommend first thing in the morning is the best way because it sets up your day. And when we talk about mindset of meditation, it's one thing to meditate and go, oh, I'm all zen, and it's like, and then you go out there in the world, and then now you're conquering people. You're a ruthless businessman, or you're just not being nice because you're so busy and focused on what you want. But hey, I meditated today, so it's okay. Well, that's BS, which is a belief system. So mindset is how do you show up after your meditation? Are you taking that zen? Are you taking that peace? Are you taking that love out to the world in all your interactions and all your actions? I hope that answers your question.
Beautifully, beautifully explained, Mark. And we have one more question.
Yes.
Who's asking, I'm surrounded by people who don't believe in meditation. How can I motivate myself to meditate?
Meditate. Just do it. And if you're surrounded by yourself with people who don't believe in it, start surrounding yourself with people who believe in it. Because the one thing that we teach is you will become the 5 people you hang around with most. So if you hang around with people who don't believe in meditation, you will not meditate. If you surround yourself with people who meditate regularly, you're going to tend to meditate more regularly, right? And that goes with everything in life. If if you're only making $20,000 a year and you want to make 100, and everybody you hang out with is making 20, you got to go hang out with some other people because water seeks its own level, and you will either rise or you will lower based on who you hang out with. We always say in the Tony world, it's like, love your family, pick your beer group, right? And pick consciously. That becomes awareness. What kind of people do you want to hang out with? Do you want to, if you want to be a meditator and you want to expand your consciousness, are you hanging around with others who support that?
Absolutely. That's what is like we call as Sajjana Sangatya in PSSM, trying to hang out with people who have similar mindset and who want to grow into the growth or benefit mindset. So beautifully explained. Thank you so much, Mark. I mean, I've gone through some of your blogs and I found beautiful interesting points too about gratitude journals and inner peace. It's wonderful, like whatever work you're doing. And my most favorite is make a game of finding the hidden blessing in a challenging situation. I loved that.
Always. Yeah. And you
Beautiful.
can have a lot of fun doing it.
Absolutely. That was an eye opener for me. Oh yeah, you're right. So
There's always something good about every situation, and it's never bad. Things are just happening. The meaning we give it is our reality, because nothing has any meaning except the meaning we give it, and that changes everything.
Absolutely. Beautifully said, Mark. Thank you, Mark, for the wonderful message. I'm so amazed to see your passion that will inspire many across the globe. Truly honored to have you here, and we look forward to your partnership and collaboration with PSSM all through. Thank you so
Me
much,
too.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
Patriji.
Thank you, Patrici. Thank you, Swapna. We'll talk
Sure.
again
Bye
later.
bye. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
always a pleasure. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
Swapna ji, you speak about your meditation.
Sir, okay. So I started my meditation 2 years back when I saw a friend of mine sitting in silence when all of us were talking. And she was just sitting, and I thought like she was dozing off. And after a while, I asked her, "Why are you not with us?" And she said, "No, I just wanted to meditate for some time." I said, "What kind of meditation is that?" I got curious, and she told me, "Why don't you try?" And then I went and I sat with her. And hardly maybe I might have meditated for like 3 to 4 minutes. I didn't even know like where I was. By the time I opened my eyes, I realized that suddenly my focus, my brain fog, everything vanished, and everything is so clear before me. And I was amazed. Oh wow, what is this? Because since childhood we've been going to you know religious places, and going to Ramana Maharshi ashram and just sitting calmly, but I never got that thing to practice. So basically those seeds were sown when I was a child, while I was going with my father and volunteering. But those seeds are watered by PSSM, by the Anapanasati meditation, is what I want to say. And since then, after that few months, I got a gap, and then again one of my other friends, she started a group meditation, and then I felt I really need to go and join. And the moment, and I started going to those group meditations, and I realized this is such a beautiful thing. Why didn't I do this before? So it was like and I'm happier than ever, and I became more calmer and focused. And I felt that listening to experiences and teaching meditation really aids in one's spiritual progress. I'm so inspired by the PSSM masters, their journeys. It really gives a perspective of how to look at things when given a situation. Without knowing these things, you think a different way. But once you know that there are people out there who face so many challenges, and in spite of that, they are centered and they're grounded, and they're trying to come out of those situations in a very beautiful way without any disturbance or frustration. So that really inspired me to continue this journey. And I started teaching meditation to kids, and wherever I go, I mean, if I go to a family get together or anything, the thing I do is, oh, she's here now, she's going to talk about meditation. So it's like that. I'm so addicted to go and teach people. I want everybody to be benefited in the similar way, I got benefited. And I'm so happy and blessed to be part of the PSSM family, being able to volunteer. And thank you so much, Patriji, for showing us this great path. I mean, we are really indebted to you. Thank you so much.
SR is on a call. You go ahead.
Okay, sure. Okay, so viewers, I'm sure you all had a great insight into the mindset. So check yourself whether you are in the fixed mindset, growth mindset, or benefit mindset. And then I'm sure like this world is a beautiful place, and there's a lot more to explore. So focus on the right things for right experiences. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to hand it over to my next co-anchor, Jairam, who's going to continue with our next.